Oh yes, every day I talk. Trust me. I will go to.
Despite the threat?
No, there's no threat. All those things that, like I said, it doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? That I'm trading all over Nigeria. I receive threat every day actually.
You need to
once you're here in Boka, I receive threat every day and everyone. I'm in school today. I'm going to be in school somewhere in Nigeria tomorrow. I'm going to be in school somewhere on Saturday. I'm going to be in school on Sunday. So, I'm talking about threat. We should stop talking about politics. I'm talking about stress and waste of time. What I want us to always be talking about, how do we build a better future for our society? Our society is not going to work by threatening people. Our society is not going to work by investing in people. I went to Benin to invest in a better life of the people of the state. Because if they have good nurses, good doctors, they will live a better life. It's a measurable thing. What the governor should have done is to complement what I'm doing in his state. He should actually be sincerely grateful that I'm working with him.
Indeed, P2B of 2023 is not P2B of 2025, not to talk of 2027. You have to match their energy, fire for fire. No more my elder brother, my younger brother, no. Nigerians are dealing with criminals who don't operate by the rules. This is the same Okpebholo, who is in violation of the Supreme Court judgment on local government. He dissolved elected chairman up to today. No one is doing anything about it. Tinubu has not deemed it fit to withdraw the local government allocation like he did in Osun State. He knows what he's doing. He's targeting states where P2B is popular. In fact, he's targeting the entire South. He didn't win the South in 2023. That's why he's focusing on the South and the Middle Belt. He wants to demystify the North. Yes, he knows that the CPC, the entire Northwest, and other parts of the North, they will not vote him in 2027. So he's working towards winning other parts of Nigeria in order to demystify the North. And if the Northerners allow him to demystify them, that myth that the North must vote for anyone before the person becomes president, if Tinubu is able to do that, then he will take the credit. And they will be in political wilderness for many years, up to 20 years. Yes, many people don't understand what is going on. The ADC coalition members must take this very seriously, especially the CPC faction. In all that they are doing, if they hand over this ticket to Atiku Abubakar, Tinubu will win Atiku Abubakar before 12 p.m. on election day, and he will demystify the North. If he does that, they are in deep trouble. Not that people don't know that the North allocates to itself a political capital that it doesn't have, but if they allow Tinubu to prove it in the open, then it is over for them. Tinubu is not going to hand over to a Northwesterner. He's going to hand over to Nuhu Ribadu or maybe someone else in 2031. That's if he's able to prevail in 2027. If he does that, power will stay in the Northeast for 8 years, and after that it will come back to the South. So a total of 20 years before power can come back to the Northwest. So all the CPC members in the coalition, they should understand what they are doing. They should see the bigger picture. They should not back a Northerner in that coalition. They must insist that the ADC must zone the ticket to the South. They must back a candidate who has the capacity to mobilize Nigerians. The candidate that is loved everywhere, not just in the South, but also in the North. In places where the person is non-loved or not known, they can do the legwork. They can campaign for him there. It's very simple. Forget about all the narrative that only a Northerner can win Tinubu in 2027. This is the narrative that is coming from political jobbers. All they need to do is to campaign for that candidate. Even if they campaigned against that candidate in the past, it's as simple as telling them that they were wrong. Very simple. Convince your people the way you convinced them in 2023. Tell them this is the person that will do the job. Tell them this is the person that has been talking about the North, that the wealth of this country lies in the North, and that he will tap it to make Northerners multi-millionaires. A lot of things they can say to promote a politician. They know what to say. The same way they promoted Tinubu and other candidates in the past, they should do the same thing. There is nothing like Northerners won't vote for Southerners. In a country that is supposed to be one, if you campaign that way, that means Southerners might also not vote for a Northerner. Yes, two can play that game. Don't think you hold all the aces. And if they make that mistake, like already said, Tinubu will demystify them, and going forward, that presidency might not even come to the Northwest, maybe in the next 30 years. You might never know. Once it's proven that they don't really have that vote, that political capital they always used to bargain during elections, then they will be in political wilderness. And this is exactly what he is doing. Focusing on the South, all the places they know they can rig elections easily, like what is happening in Edo State. They know that Edo State is referred to as the headquarters of the obedient movement, and as Peter Obi has said it, that he will be back in Edo State, that the threats mean nothing to him. So all these are stages of rigging. They want to make sure they isolate him, to put that fear in him, so that he will even run away from Edo State, and with time he will lose relevance in Edo State, and they can be able to rig the election the way they want. So this is what they want to replicate in many states in the South. And if they are able to get a chunk of the votes in the Middle Belt, that means the North is already isolated. And if they are isolated and eventually wins, that means he has demystified Northerners. And now they are calling him the master strategist. Imagine the name they will call him if he eventually demystifies Northwest. Yes. So don't allow him to take that credit as the man who demystified the North.
If Mr. President calls me today as the leader of this country and tells me, Al-Makura, I want you to come to my office and dust my table every Monday. That's what pleases me. That's what I feel will make this party and this country progress. I can assure you, I will make it a date that every Monday at that appointed time will come and dust the table and go, and I'll be satisfied that I've done what Mr. President wants. That's the level of my commitment and loyalty to a leader.
Many CPC members in APC were feeling that the chairmanship of the APC will come back to them after Ganduje left. They didn't know Tinubu had other plans. He appointed a Middle Belter. The man, being a Christian, he feels he can rally Christians in the Middle Belt. So you can see what he's doing. He's already isolating the CPC. He knows he can't trust them, that even the people left that are claiming that they're still with the APC, they will work for them, they work for Tinubu, he doesn't trust them. So it's better they come out hard and vote in block. Yes, if they are truly joining the coalition, they should bring a block vote to the coalition, so that they will make sure they will not be demystified in 2027. If that is done, they will lose serious political capital in Nigeria going forward. They should not die on the heel of Atiku Abubakar's presidential ambition. He has contested the presidential election for 3 times, with many other times in presidential primaries where he failed to emerge. And they must understand that it is not in their interest that Atiku Abubakar wins the presidency. If he wins, power will concentrate around him and his PDP associates, and eventually he will seek re-election. That means power will rest with Atiku Abubakar for 8 years. After that, it will come back to the south and spend another 8 years possibly, and before moving back to the north again. That's in 16 years time. If we have to look at it from the political angle, their choice must be between Tinubu and another southern candidate. They should not back a northerner at this time. If they do that, obviously they will not get that power. It's very clear. And this same political strategy that Tinubu wants to deploy in 2027 was the same political strategy that ensured that Goodluck Jonathan won the election in 2011. If he had won in 2015, that means the North would have been isolated for 2 election cycles in a row. They all voted for Buhari in 2011. They also voted for him in 2015. So they should not allow Tinubu to repeat it. If he gets to win, that means he will isolate them for the next 20 years. That's assured. They must understand that what is going on is a political battle for supremacy. Tinubu has never hidden his disdain for northerners. Yes, at one time he said that he doesn't believe in one Nigeria. The reason he said that was because of the lopsided political arrangement in Nigeria. At that time, he was shouting about restructuring. Why should Kano have more local government areas than Lagos State, despite the fact that Lagos State has more population? That's why the Lagos State government conducted their own independent census to determine their population. So they must be aware of all this. Someone that is taking steps against you in his first term, what is he going to do in his second term when he has successfully demystified you that you have no political capital whatsoever? So it's not going to be easy in 2027, but the best way for Northerners, especially the CPC members, to minimize the risk of their going into political wilderness is to make sure they support a Southerner. Not just any Southerner for that matter, someone that can win against Tinubu. Rotimi Amechi might be popular in Rivers State, but you can't say so in other states in the South. Yes, that will obviously reduce the choice to Peter Obi alone. He has proved his mettle in the last election despite rejection from PDP members. Even during the campaigns, many of them were permutating and saying he will not even win 1 million votes. He can't score 500,000 votes. Some even went as far as claiming that he cannot even win Anambra State. Today, political jobbers have started permutating that only a Northerner can win Tinubu in 2027. They are busy spreading this narrative while APC members are praying hard that ADC adopts Atiku Abubakar as the candidate. If they do that, consider the election lost. Yes, because most Southerners will not even come out to vote. That's the reality. The few that will come out will vote for Tinubu despite not loving him. This is another reality. And the less people troop out to vote, the higher they can rig the election, because no one will stand in their way. They will write all sorts of figures. They will make sure they come out tops. Any figure that is announced in the North, they will make sure they double that in the South. Yes, at the end of the day, they will shout back at you, go to court. Even in the middle belt, that Atiku Abubakar didn't win in 2023. Is he going to win it against Tinubu that won it in 2023? Yes. Even in the Northwest, are you sure that all of them are going to give up to maybe 80% or even 75% of the votes to Atiku Abubakar? That's the reality. So they should make sure they do their political calculations very well. If they make the mistake, they are looking at political oblivion in the next 16 to 20 years. Thanks for watching.